Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the architectural blueprint that literally helps the world's greatest businesses survive, earn your trust, and ultimately win your loyalty. Think of this whole strategy like a giant balance board. Make one wrong move, miss just one foundational pillar, and the whole thing comes crashing down. So, let's get into it.
Because, let's be real, look around. We are operating in a completely cutthroat market today, and business is absolutely no exception. So I have to ask you, how do you actually build real customer loyalty when just relying on your past performance isn't enough to guarantee survival anymore? I mean, with innovative products launching literally every single day, and this seemingly infinite sea of choices right at our fingertips on our phones, standing out is harder than it has ever been.
To really ground our conversation today, we first need to realize that marketing isn't just about selling things. Not even close. It's this vital, pervasive science of creating value and managing consumer expectations. The American Marketing Association defines it as a core process of identifying and fulfilling needs. It's what gives a business its competitive edge, ultimately convincing someone to take action or, sometimes consciously deciding not to take action.
So, what's the actual solution to surviving all this fierce competition? Well, it's a concept known as the marketing mix. First introduced way back in 1960 by E. Jerome McCarthy, this is that foundational balance board I was talking about earlier. For decades, businesses relied on four fundamental pillars to stabilize their operations. This framework is all about combining different variables that a firm blends and controls to get the exact desired result from their target market. Put simply, it's about putting the right product at the right time at the exact right price in the right place.
And it all starts with pillar number one, the product. Look, a business can't just guess what you want. They have to actually identify it through extensive market research. The success of any business hinges entirely on offering goods that solve a specific burning problem the customer is facing. Think about it. You could build the most innovative, durable snow shovel on planet Earth, but if you're trying to sell it in a tropical climate, your business is going to fail. Why? Because the underlying need simply isn't there.
Next up is the delicate tightrope walk of pricing. And man, price totally dictates demand. If you charge way too much, you're going to lose your customers to cheaper competitors in a heartbeat. But if you charge too little, the business suffers massive losses. It is this incredibly careful calculation. You're weighing the actual manufacturing cost against the customer's willingness to pay for the value, the utility, and the joy that item brings to their everyday life. But here's the kicker. Even the most incredible, perfectly priced product is completely useless if people can't actually get to it. And that is where place comes in, your distribution channel. Making a great item just isn't enough. You have to put it right in front of the potential buyer exactly when they want it. The stronger and more efficient your chain of location, delivery, and transportation is, the higher your market coverage is going to be.
Finally, you've got to tell people about it, right? That's promotion. This is the marketing communication that publicizes the product's features and actually induces the buyer to make the purchase. Whether we're talking about massive television ad campaigns, direct email marketing, or one-on-one personal selling, finding the right mix depends entirely on your budget, your core message, and exactly who you're trying to reach.
So, product, price, place, and promotion. For literally decades, these classic 4 Ps perfectly balanced on our board were the absolute gold standard for marketing physical, tangible goods efficiently and profitably. But hold on, because here is where we need to make a really dramatic pivot. What happens to this physical balance board when a business isn't selling an object you can actually hold in your hands? What happens when they're selling something totally intangible, like, say, a banking service, a digital streaming platform, or even just a haircut? How does a framework from the 1960s hold up to that?
Well, when you contrast physical, touchable goods with invisible, consumer-oriented services, it instantly clicks why that old marketing framework had to evolve. You just can't put an intangible service on a store shelf the same way you do a box of cereal. You can't manufacture a service in a factory weeks before a customer buys it. Services are experienced, they aren't held.
And that exact realization led to a massive breakthrough in 1981. Booms and Bittner recognized that the modern service market needed a much more robust framework. So they took the classic 4 Ps and they added 3 new, crucial nodes to the system. This expanded the concept into a 7P framework specifically designed to stabilize that balance board for a rapidly changing service-oriented economy.
Because in a service economy, the people delivering the service are basically indistinguishable from the product itself. Which brings us to our 5th P, people. This includes all the human beings, both inside and outside the firm, who play an active role in offering that service.
From meticulous recruitment all the way to ongoing skill development, well-trained employees add massive value. To the customer, those human beings absolutely are the business. Now, think about going to a high-end hotel or even your favorite fast food chain. You expect a completely consistent experience every single time you walk through those doors, right? That consistency relies entirely on the sixth P, process. By establishing strict sequential steps for delivery, a business guarantees a standardized level of quality for every single interaction. And as a bonus, it simultaneously increases operational efficiency, saving everyone valuable time and money.
And that brings us to the seventh P, the physical environment, which is sometimes called physical evidence. Since services are completely invisible by nature, providers have to incorporate tangible elements to ground the customer's experience. We're talking about the store layout, the interior design, the comfort of the waiting areas, even the staff attire. These are the vital, tangible clues that make an invisible service feel incredibly real, directly affecting your overall satisfaction and communicating brand leadership.
So, when we bring it all together, the modern architectural blueprint is finally complete. We've got McCarthy's classic 4 Ps beautifully handling the tangible goods, working right alongside Booms and Bittner's extended 3 Ps, which stabilize the board for those intangible services.
Finding that perfect balance across all 7 of these elements, that is absolutely the only way to achieve true loyalty in today's cutthroat market. It is a super delicate, fragile ecosystem. I mean, if your price is spot on, but your process is completely flawed, the board tips. If your product is a game changer, but your people are poorly trained, the entire strategy just falls apart.
We've already seen how the market evolved from a physical place into a digital space, driven entirely by IT, e-commerce, and mobile apps. So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative thought. As digital spaces and AI continue to radically transform how buyers and sellers interact every single day, how might this balance board shift yet again? What brand new node will force businesses to invent the 8th P? Keep analyzing the world around you, because who knows, maybe you'll be the one to figure it out.